well, that's what I'm going to talk about. I aspire to be a minimalist. I think it'd be good to live small. And I do that by having a small house. And I'm working at being a minimalist, trying to live small. I have a small house, I have a small car in a small garage. I have only one napkin cupboard, and that has to be shared with the tea and the recipes. So as you might guess, if I were to have a pet, it would not be a Great Dane, it would not be a multiple anything. I have sort of a checkered history with pets, with animals, and I will distinguish between them. On the farm, of course, we had barn cats, barn dog. We named our cattle, and so when we had beef, we always knew who we were eating. But I'm not confusing that with having a pet. Having a name doesn't mean the same thing as calling them pets, so I'm clear on that. When my first son was about a year old, my husband was pretty sure that Matt would like a cat. And I was trying to be a good mother at that time. And we had mice in the basement, multiple. So we decided a cat was a good idea. And then over the years, there were more children and hamsters and fish. And now most of my kids have dogs. I haven't had a pet all these years. I like dogs, and I also like being free to go places. And I think, you know, with plants, somebody can look in once a week, and that's okay. But I don't think dogs would thrive in that kind of world. So I clearly was not looking for a pet. But a pet came to me. I didn't see any signs of break-ins, but every fall, at a certain point, I think there's some kind of snowbird instinct that I start getting a lot of box elder bugs. First you see them outside the house, and then you see them inside the house. And I'm not advocating for box elder bugs. They're bugs. They sidle around the house. They never look you in the eye, and I think they've got something to hide, or they. But at the same time, you might see a lot of box elder bugs, and there'll be a few ladybugs. Now, they can't help it, their last name is Bug. I don't think of having ladybugs in the house as like having bugs in the house. For one thing, they're so orange and round and prim. And they walk quietly. I think it's more like having some tiny little ladies in the house. And so I kind of liked them all right from afar. And one night I was at my kitchen table, and I have a nice reading lamp. And it throws a little heat as well as light. And I had kind of a thick magazine on the table. And I noticed there was a ladybug walking the perimeter. Left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn. And it's kind of staying on the top. Now, I know they can fly, but this one was perambulating. And so, I don't know, either I was lonesome or I might have some gene that was meant to go into engineering. So I just tore a piece of paper and made an off-ramp from the magazine. And then I waited anxiously to see what she'd do when she got there. And she did go down. And so I got a little fancier and put another off-ramp, and yeah, she tried that too. I've got lots of paper, that wasn't a problem. And I so wished, and I still do, I so wish that there'd been another responsible adult there to see it as well. Because I know it doesn't sound very credible, and I can't rerun the experiment. She did come back the next night, and a little more of this, and another bug came too, and I thought, I'm going to have a ladybug circus, but but it didn't turn out to be so much. And then, well, this is kind of embarrassing, but fond as I was of this ladybug, they all look pretty much alike. And so I haven't seen this one since November, as far as I know. And, I don't know where ladybugs go, for one thing. I don't know what they eat or anything. I just hope for the best, and I kind of hope that maybe this was her little snowbird experience, and maybe she'll come back next fall, thinking that this is that little minimalist Arizona that I've got. So I'm not looking for a pet, exactly. But if I were, she'd be the one. Thank you.